Alrighty. All right, cool. So that was Canned Heat by Jamiroquai there.
Yeah,
And
I
that
took
was
some licenses. I took some licenses because doing only the guitar part, the song would be unrecognizable. But I hope the guests liked it. Give me just 1 second to put this away.
yes, Pedro brought the funk with us this morning. And let me go ahead and say hello to the chat. We got Shadowhawks. What's up, buddy? Always good to see you. A pretty much a regular at this point in our chat. Very good. Thank you, buddy.
What's up, Shadow
We
Hawk?
got Pops Van Zant. He'll be our guest next week. And we got, of course, with us, our guest. Boom. Let's go ahead and bring him out. Ladies and gentlemen, Neostar Productions. Boom.
Yay.
Good morning. You're muted.
He's muted, but I mean that's normal. It's a live show. How you doing?
Brilliant star that shines through the night. The surge of power that jumpstarts justice. Rise, our man, stands before you. How's that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, dude.
If you guys don't know Neo by the name, you might recognize him from pretty much having the best intros in
Yeah, it's
the
like
business.
my first time doing
ever
doing that on screen. Yeah, I hope I did.
Oh,
I hope I did. I hope it was serviceable.
that's a first. That's a first on the Ginge and Pedro show, dude. I love the intro. It reminds me of Team Rocket. It reminds me of like I don't know. That show was called Capitan Centella down here. It was like a guy dressed in white with a bike, and he fought with a whip.
Wow. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so talk to Neostar because I have to Google this shit right now.
All right, Neo, do you have any idea
Yeah.
what this guy's talking about?
Not sure. Not sure. Kind of had a bit of a sound difficulty on my end here, but funny thing about the introductions, they're actually inspired by actually two things specifically.
Nice.
All right, you guys remember? Yeah, you guys remember the cartoon Darkwing Duck that used to come on television?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that show came out the same year I was born. Matter of fact, yeah, you'd always start off with something like, "I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the scourge that pecks at your nightmares. I am Darkwing Duck." That sort of thing.
Yeah,
dude. Strikes fear. Can't beat it.
Okay, guys. Just a little side. I promise I won't do this often today, but this is something that I have to show you guys. This guy is Moonlight Mask. It's an anime from the 70s.
Groovy.
And dude, if you want to see like a funky disco, basically adventure,
I do.
Where the bad guy is called Satan's Claw. You gotta check out this show. Yeah, you gotta check out this show, man. And you see, like, there's always like this like psychedelic like colors behind him going, and like those effects from the 70s, like
This is the much cooler Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Just Moon Funk Night.
Yeah, exactly. Moonlight Mask.
Yeah,
like, check this out. If this
I'm kind
doesn't
of jealous
scream,
of that helmet.
yeah, if this doesn't scream drugs, nothing does. So yeah, no, enough of that.
Oh yeah, they just saw Miss H just now.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Learned something. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just say hello to the
I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah.
chat real quick. All right. Yep, we got Mrs. H coming by. Amanda B. All right. Very nice. We got us a packed house already. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Welcome all.
Yeah, Neo, thank you for coming by today, man. We really do appreciate it. Let's just kind of jump right on into it. You know, what got you into comics? How long have you been a comic fan, and do you remember the book that brought you to it, the medium?
Oh boy, I won't lie to you. It actually did take me quite a bit before I actually got into comics. You know, formally, like actually full on started reading them. Matter of fact, when I was younger, my main exposure to superheroes had always been through cartoons. All the Marvel and DC characters had like cartoons playing at the time.
Absolutely.
and Batman, Superman. I think the Super Friends was actually still airing around that time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of those that like I think kind of fell under the radar. I mean, I've went back and rewatched some of that 90s Hulk cartoon that they did. I've watched.
Oh yeah, that was another one.
Yeah, I watched some of the Silver Surfer one they did. They also did a Fantastic Four one. I didn't watch any of that, but I'd like to think that they were good, but I don't think any of them beat the Spider-Man Marvel 90s cartoon.
Dude, the thing is like the Super Friends, it seemed like as just one thing, but it has different iterations throughout the years. So the last Super Friends that they came up with in '85, which is like Galaxy Protectors or something like that, like Justice League Galaxy Protectors, it's almost anime quality. Like they were looking for that. Like the intros were awesome. Then they tried to do like a solo Superman show, and then like it fizzled out. But yeah, dude, everybody remembers like the Super Friends like with Gleek and San and Gina, the Wonder Twins. Like that was cool. But dude, like that show evolved. Yeah, exactly. And form of whatever and water. Like, that was just
one twin could turn to like different states of water, and the other could turn to like different animals and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Form of an orangutan, and then the other one's like turn into water, and Gleek would take him in a bucket.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm pretty sure, didn't they just like take the guy version and turn him into Beast Boy? Or am I?
I have no idea. Beast Boy was more Teen Titans.
Did like the animal transformations, but yeah, we did have we had Beast Boy technically way earlier because from what I understand, he was like part of the Doom Patrol once upon a time before he went off with the Titans.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only comics I was actually exposed to around that time was essentially most of the stuff coming from Image at the time. There was Spawn. Yeah, it's like Spawn on Savage Dragon. Back when that was decent. Yeah. And then the Young Bloods. Although the only one I really paid any attention to was Bad Rock specifically.
Yeah.
So the guy was basically like Ben Grimm from Fantastic Four, but with like Michelangelo's personality from Ninja Turtles.
Interesting.
Actually, now that I think about it, Ninja Turtles was like the only other comic I was aware of at the time as well.
Dude. Yeah, dude, that's the indie king, man. The Turtles.
Ninja Turtles had to have been like my biggest influences too.
Yeah.
So were you into the movies as well as the comics for Ninja Turtles? Did you also watch, was it like pretty much everything Ninja Turtles were big for you?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I kind of ended up seeing the Ninja Turtles films completely out of order, honestly. Yeah, the first one I saw was actually Secret of the Ooze. The third one with the time traveling, and then I eventually finally tracked down the first one.
The first one is the best, man.
Yeah, the original was definitely the best. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The second one has a special place in my heart purely because of how often I watched it before, or I found the first movie.
Yeah.
Did we ever discover the secret of the ooze? Did we ever find out? It's been so long.
Dude,
what was the secret?
I don't know, man. Like the secret of the ooze to me, it's like finding your uncle was interested in you sexually. That's a secret I don't want to find out.
God,
I thought the secret of the ooze was the ninja rap song.
Yeah, dude.
The ooze can keep.
They didn't prove that you could have literally more than one hit.
Yeah.
One hit be more than one hit wonder when your main song is tied to an entire franchise.
Oh, dude, the whole thing with the Ninja Turtles movie is that the one was very successful, but a lot of parents like pushed back. But it was very gritty and very violent, and you can see like Ninja Turtles 2 turned into very like slapstick cartoony fighting, and that completely destroyed it for me. Like even though like Vanilla Ice was a big influence in me not liking that movie. The whole thing that they turned to slapstick with the fighting. To me, like, dude, this is not the Turtles. What the hell? Like, I can't kill Bebop in the game, and you're showing me this. You know, it was no.
The first movie was more true to the original comic, while the second one felt more like a nod to like the 80s cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like a Magilla Gorilla episode or a.
Yeah.
It was a little Magoo, you might say.
It was Magoo.
There we go.
It was Magoo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although I won't lie, Token Rays were kind of an improvement over Bevo and Rocksteady in a sense, because those guys were actually threatening when they were genuinely fighting the. I mean, you kind of had to wonder how the heck are we going to stop these two things as opposed to the slapstick fights with them in like the cartoon.
So Sugar Chris has a theory here. We may as well the ooze is just the Hulk's baby batter.
Oh,
I mean,
well, that's a
horrible thought. Things, I think.
That's a horrible thought. Thanks, Sugar. That's a horrible thought. But that could be it, more than likely.
The logistics of how I mean, do we want to go into it? Are we milking the Hulk first thing in the morning here?
One could say there's some Daredevil parallels, but I'm not sure how
just the fact that the Hulk has to be angry to be the Hulk. He will be very relaxed if you're trying to extract the green batter. I'm just saying, like, you're just servicing Banner at some point.
Yeah.
So will it be the Hulk's?
This is a mess.
Thank you, Sugar. Thank you, Sugar Chris. That's just what we need.
All right. So enough cum talk.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of early for that.
So, Ninja Turtles, that was a big one for you, and you said cartoons as well. Any video games? Your sort of signature character, Riser Man. It's why I went with a Mega Man picture for our thumbnail this week. Were you into video games a lot as well growing up?
Funny you should mention the Mega Man era. Just like the Marvel and DC superheroes being my first exposure through the cartoon before I got to read most of their comics. Comics. My exposure to Mega Man was through their first cartoon, the Ruby Spears Mega Man one.
Yeah, really? I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that cartoon.
Yeah, a bit on the goofy side, but it wasn't too bad in my opinion.
No,
I mean
it serviced the IP properly, I think.
Yeah, we saw Mega Man fighting robots, absorbing power, stopping Wily. Actually, now I think about it, there are probably a few Mega Man comparisons with Riser Man. Now I think about it, I mean, he does typically fight evil scientists, as you might have seen it in the comic.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, but I'm the science.
The character designs for Riser Man, like it's on the vein of Mega Man. It's on the vein of Beautiful Joe, like that kind of chibi like helmet, like almost Sentai but not quite Sentai. Because I mean, it doesn't evoke me to, let's say, Power Rangers. Not really. It takes me more to Mega Man, Beautiful Joe. And dude, it's a style. And dude, it's a really great vehicle for storytelling. And dude, kudos on the design, man. It looks really cool. I actually want to animate it at some point.
Oh, I would love for Riser Man to be animated. That is honestly one of my bucket list goals for the character.
Yeah, dude. I mean, go ahead.
Although now that you mention his resemblance to like the old school tokusatsu style show, Riser Man and powers, hours, and outfit were actually inspired by like the original Kamen Rider manga, because long before they made the show, the creator did make like an original manga for it, as well as another one made by the same guy. I don't know why I keep calling him the same. And Shotaro Ishinomori, I believe is how his name was pronounced. The original creator of Kamen Rider, as well as another anime I'm sure you guys probably heard of, Cyborg 009.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the long skull.
Interesting. Yeah, that's sort of the thing. Is personally, I grew up with Power Rangers, like as probably most people did. Like I was the
As a
blue
lot.
Power Ranger, right? I was the blue Power Ranger for like 3 years in a row. I was also just a ninja for like 2 years in a row. It's like, and then a pirate. Then, anyways, but no.
And coincidentally, all three of those things have been Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's I still like Power Rangers as a concept for that reason. Like every season tends to be some kind of new spin on a space time cop something. You've got space time cop ninjas.
Dinosaur.
Or
Yeah. But I've been curious to go back and kind of do the history on it because I know it comes from Super Sentai, which I don't really know anything about, and then from that I don't know where Kamen Rider comes into the connection.
Kamen Rider.
Super Sentai is actually just the original Japanese name for the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
so you're
for the
still
Power
on track
Rangers.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, the things like the whole Sentai thing, like since I think I'd explained it properly several times. Latin America got hit with all like the canned goods from Japan. So you had Super Sentai, you have a show called Jivan, which was like a Power Ranger with like a police like light on top of his head. You had the Spider-Man show, but we actually got the Spider-Man show where he like, I'm Spider-Man, and he hops on the robot and
change me a put on.
Yeah, and there was another one called Live Man, which is the first time where I saw like live action super combiner robot thing. But this is like from 1975, like the beginning of like color TV. And then when I saw Power Rangers, it's like, oh, this is Live Man. So I don't know, like to me that's a little bit confusing. Everybody sees like Power Rangers as the origin when they're really not. So yeah, we lost Ginge.
No, Ginge.
No, I'm sorry. This Chris cracked me up here. He's like, wait a minute, why is Ginger called a bag of chocolate anuses? Giving me crap for Hulk baby batter. And he's chocolate buttholes.
Exactly.
Look, I do it to make myself laugh, but that I tried to hold back that laugh for as long as I could there. But
that's all right.
Carry on.
But the same guy that actually did make the Super Sentai also made Kamen Rider. Matter of fact, they actually finally released like a English copy of the Super Sentai manga, from what I understand.
Cool, man. That's part of history. Like lots of kids throughout the world grew up with Power Rangers and Super Sentai, and that has informed like what it is to be a hero.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dude. Like it's an awesome source. It's an awesome.
So
source. I mean,
have you? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask. Have you kept up with any of the comic books at all? I sort of popped in. Our local Books A Million used to keep comic books on a just like single issues on a rack, and somewhere around my house I have like an issue. Like I was scrolling through and I saw Lord Draken for the first time, right? Like Tommy just as evil, an evil badass.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that blew my mind, and I went ahead and picked that issue up just for the art. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, this is super cool." But have you kept up with any of that?
I've been in the loop, but unfortunately, I haven't gotten around to buy a copy of the Boom Power Rangers line. I've been genuinely interested in it hopping back on, especially since they had a recent crossover with the Ninja Turtles once again.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very good. The Power Rangers book. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think they even had like Shredder, but he somehow stole the Green Ranger powers. So now we got a Green Ranger Shredder they had to take off.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, I see how they evolve that storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nuts. We got Chris here saying, I recently seen on Twitter there's apparently a Power Rangers versus Godzilla comic.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen bits from that as well.
Well, that's a short fight,
dude.
Yeah,
who's your money on? I mean, the Megazord or
Godzilla, baby?
Oh, really?
I mean,
okay.
Godzilla. Yeah, he goes radioactive.
That's something that predates pretty much all my
dude.
I learned the Godzilla monster before I learned most of my colors, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing. Like, if you go into kaiju world, that's like stories of overpower, like a Hulk story. It's all like overpowering thing. Like, I don't know, mixing the Power Rangers with them. Like monsters that do this. kick the Power Rangers' asses at some point. So no.
You got the putties.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I always thought that was kind of like.
I never picked up on it as a kid. I had to see it as an adult, and I was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Yeah, exactly.
These sentient clay doll monsters babbling while attacking people.
Yeah, I mean, it was done for kids, and kids seem to eat that stuff up. So yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, the putties were kind of like. Actually, now that I think about it, the putties had a lot in common with the Foot Soldiers from Ninja Turtles as well. Well,
yeah, the Footland was like you never see a Footland soldier's face.
Oh yeah. One minute they're robots, the next minute they're random lost teenagers. Next minute they're just mindless go.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very impersonal, and they're bound to get their asses kicked. So it's a service to the reader, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta have the fighter up in there.
Yeah,
you gotta build up like the major fights.
So let me ask you a little bit more about some of the stuff that inspired you as a creator. Before we get into Riser Man, like what were some of the stuff? Is there any? Do you kind of remember the moment that pushed you over the edge to want to be a creator, or were you always creating growing up? Were you a really artistic kind of guy? Did you write a lot? What were you like as a kid?
Well, funny you should mention that. All right, you guys remember that one website, Newgrounds? Site where people were posting all the Flash animated cartoons and movies and stuff. Well, for the longest time, I kind of figured that you kind of had to, be in the industry in order to like, make anything. Basically, everything was either somebody else's thing from like the big leagues and whatnot. It wasn't until I went there that it occurred to me that you can, in fact, just make things for yourself. You can cobble together your own ideas and make something fun, entertaining, or even just goofy. In fact, the very thing that initially sparked me to work on my own original content and characters specifically was something called Kermit Combat.
Kermit Combat.
Yeah, I don't remember Kermit Combat.
Not familiar.
Yeah, it was less of a flash cartoon and more like a sort of flash game. Basically, a guy got into a fight with Kermit the Frog, and they each had like these different attacks and gimmicks they did to each other. And I thought to myself, hey, this is kind of fun. They're kind of just kind of messing around. We got this guy that does like random Street Fighter and pro wrestling moves against Herman while he just makes a bunch of random Sesame Street references and turn them into like these vicious attacks.
Did he beat you with his banjo while singing the Rainbow Bridge song?
Yeah, he did. He did like the magic finger bit and sort of produced the pistol, which the other guy, Rocky Pinnacle, I believe his name, was just kind of Matrix the attack and stuff. Because that was like another big thing around the time the Matrix. Everybody who did Flash animation somehow had to make a Matrix reference and everything.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but to me, like the kings of that era of like Flash animated mini cartoons for the web was Mondo Media. They end up turning into like they're the guys who make Happy Tree Friends.
But,
but before Happy Tree Friends, they had like little shorts like a heavy metal guy, like a guy who will solve every problem with heavy metal.
That sounds dope, huh?
Dude, it was dope. It was dope. Like there was a girl who wanted more pepper on her steak. It was like, whoa, man! It's like, just say well, and he's like pouring pepper. It's funny as hell. Like 3-minute shorts.
I would love that.
Yeah, like those guys had like Heavy Metal Guy. They'd had several like different mini shows, and then they came up with Happy Tree Friends, and it exploded. So yes, that whole like do-it-yourself thing from Newgrounds. I think it kind of informed in a very like meta way what CG is doing right now. Because I mean, those guys were working like on their free time. They were all animators in different studios, but they were doing things that they wouldn't let them do at the studios. Yes, I mean, if you think comic books is like secluded and guarded, animation it's a jail. It's like
Oh yeah.
it's one script. You're getting paid, and you're gonna draw the fluffy bear for years on end. So yeah, dude.
Okay. So yeah, I remember Newgrounds as well. I remember spending a good bit of time on there. I played mostly like there's lots of stick games like Stickman, where you're just like the Stickman sniper. There's Stickman blow them up or whatever the hell. Yeah, I played a lot of those games. I also played a lot of that Monkey Tower Defense. You guys remember Monkey Balloon Tower Defense or whatever? I love that stupid little game.
Yeah,
good stuff. RuneScape as well. Did you ever play RuneScape, Neo?
I vaguely recall RuneScape. I'm not sure I've ever actually played it, unfortunately.
Yeah, RuneScape was like this. I think it started as like a 2D. I guess it may have been Flash, but it was basically like a free EverQuest in a way, I think.
Yeah.
But it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a game I played for, probably like 5 years. Like, God, so much fun, that game.
Yeah, didn't it kind of become like a pseudo 3D kind of Flash game at one point?
It did. Yes.
I think that was around the time when I first heard of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was an older kid on the road who lived up the street from me that introduced me to RuneScape way back in the day. And yeah, that dude, that probably is like one of the reasons I love storytelling. I used to just, when I was a kid, I used to pretend I was like playing RuneScape in my yard. Like I just have like a stick shaped like a sword. I'm like, where are you at, dragons? You know, my imagination's always been crazy, but I love that game growing up. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, so let's see. So Neo, let's go ahead and make it into Riser Man.
Yes.
What was the genesis? I'm gonna use a fancier word here. What was the what caused you to create Riser Man? Tell us about that.
well, with Riser Man, that was a pretty lengthy process. I guess I'll say. I'm honestly. Don't worry, Mrs. H. I'll definitely take you up on that offer eventually.
Very nice.
But yeah, with Riser Man, well, okay. First, I better get this chestnut out the way. Once upon a time, he wasn't even called Riser Man. Yeah, okay. a few years back when the whole indie comic scene kind of exploded with new folks and all that, I actually tried to pitch Riser Man as Gar Riser. Unfortunately,
What was it? Gall Riser?
Yes, Gar Riser.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I kind of hit a bit of a snag when trying to promote the character in that way. You see, when I originally started coming up with the character and was showing people who he was, it was kind of, face to face, and I did it. So when I had to introduce the character on like YouTube and stuff, I kind of realized a slight tactical error. Okay, you notice how I'm usually in the chat as during like live streams and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, let's just say when I tried to introduce the character on the streams and bless all these different YouTubers and creators for even giving me the time of day, but nobody could pronounce Gar Riser as it was spelled. I've never seen people fumble over a name so hard in my life since Pokemon was first introduced. It was always cool as a go.
What could you say? What was the idea behind the original name? Does Gaul? Am I saying it right? Like Gaul, like the old French?
Oh no, not Gaul. All Riser, Gar Riser. Yeah,
it's happening. It's happening again.
Oh
yeah.
It's 2018 all over again. Jesus. Okay. But yeah, Gar Riser was basically my sort of weak attempt at giving it like a sort of pseudo acronym type. I think. And Gar Riser was supposed to be like Guardian armor, and then Riser at the end, because the Riser Man's suit was supposed to be like this cybernetic exoskeleton, kind of like Bio Booster Guyver and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, Guardian
so it's
armor.
GA Riser. Okay.
GAU. It's like Guardian, the first part Guardian, and then the first part armor, Gar Riser.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so back to it. Go ahead, sorry.
But after so many failed attempts, and since I was in the chat, so I couldn't pronounce Gar Riser effectively for anyone to say out loud, I eventually relented and decided to change the name, because Gar Riser only existed through the chat ad, so there wasn't really much in the ways for me to showcase the character. So I went with the one part of that name that people actually got right, Riser. So he became Riser Man eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally relate, because that's why I don't use my last name anymore. Because I mean, my last name in Spanish, like, nobody can pronounce properly, and I don't want to be like correcting everybody, so I just go by Ang. That's easy. But yeah, I completely get you, man. Like, yeah, like, and that helps with the marketing, because if you have like a very like hard name to pronounce, then you can't like hit people hard enough for them to remember it. So yeah, dude, good instinct.
Yeah. Plus blessing in disguise, Riser Man does technically work, considering his range of abilities.
Yeah, it's got a good range to it as well.
Yeah. Speaking about the range of abilities, so what are describe the character? What are his powers? What are his motivations? Who's he fighting? Let's get into the character.
Okay. Starting with the powers. Riser Man's powers kind of come in twofold. Technically. All right. You see. All right. You notice how I said he kind of has like that cybernetic exoskeleton on his suit. Okay, so a big thing. So I told you before that Riser Man was inspired by things like Ninja Turtles, as well as things like Kamen Rider and Cyborg 009. Well, part of the thing what happened with those characters is, well, they didn't really have a choice in becoming these superpowered crime fighters.
Awesome.
Turtles were mutated into humanoid turtles and trained in ninjutsu. Kamen Rider, as well as the Cyborg, were basically abducted and turned into living weapons against their will.
Real quick, do you guys remember Animorphs? Where like a bunch of kids upped into an alien and got turned into like a fucking stick bug or something? It was fun though.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember how the story or when they were either chosen or abducted, and they turned into animals.
If I remember correctly, it was like an alien crash landed, and I forget what the hell these kids were doing, but I actually do remember pretty decently, because I remember catching the premiere episode as a kid, and it like the first episode kind of blew my mind, I guess. But yeah, it was like this alien crash lands in a construction site, I think, and they like find him, and it's kind of maybe even Green Lantern-y in a way, like he passes on their power. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I had to shout out the Animorphs.
No worries. I can understand nostalgia. So yeah. In fact, the origin of Riser Man is kind of part of the reason why it took so long to come out as way it did, because I kind of had so many ways of executing the story, although I kind of just gave you like the 5-second pitch as to how he became what he was. And long story short, he was investigating some criminal activity in the city. And essentially, and let's see how to go back at it. He was acing that out of criminal criminal, but as he got at it, that same criminal was already working with this underground organization. And when he tried to intervene, well, let's just say it didn't turn out so well for him.
Nice.
Yeah, you know how the Power Rangers can usually just throttle the putties and stuff when they first showed up. When they show up, well, imagine a regular civilian trying to fight a bunch of faceless goons from the bad guys.
Yeah, you got to have some goons. I mean, if you're, I mean, you're probably a super badass if, as a bad guy, as a villain, you don't have any goons. But most bad guys need goons. You gotta have some.
Yeah,
goons.
exactly. Yeah. It's all equal opportunity, you know. Like people need to work.
I should probably say. Oh yeah, since we're actually talking about Rise of Man, I should probably tell you his actual freaking name, shouldn't I?
Yeah, he's got. What is it? What the hell is that saying? No, what is it? What's Clark modern personality? No. What is it? What's his like? Never mind. Go
Are
on.
you doing like the ENJT and thing? Like the people do those tests like on Facebook?
It's like what's mild mannered alter ego.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to say that. Mild mannered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
Me either. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Before Riser Man became the supersonic hero he is, he was a humble inner city private detective named Shawnee Cruz.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. Yes, and I think there's a couple pictures of that, right? Of him as his alter ego or his regular.
Well, there's him without his helmet at least.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I thought
I had to post some of the images because they are around.
Right. I was having to find like the best versions of the pictures I could find in order to make our card. I was pretty sure I saw a picture of him in like a I don't know, maybe like a suit type getup.
Oh yeah, there's a few of those lying around. All courtesy.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, all courtesy of a very wonderful and awesome artist I came across a few years back. Yeah, I believe his name is Felipe Q Ulete. Hey, yeah, you might see his name under the
Felipe Leite. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, thank you, Pedro.
No problem. You
Okay.
see that's why we choose names people can pronounce.
All right.
Yeah.
So are these the first right here? Okay, I see. So are these the first ever drawings of your characters? What was the first version of Riser Man? What did he look like?
Well, I won't lie, he kind of looks virtually similar to how he does now. At least in his human form. Matter of fact, him having a suit kind of came a bit later in the development of the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. Go ahead.
So, how long have you been working on the art for this character? Have you? Has it been since 2018, or did you have any initial sketches back? When you were originally thinking of the character that you gave to your artist, or did you just give them a description?
Despite me doing more writing these days, I actually do draw a lot of my own art.
Okay, very cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just that despite enjoying and reading a lot of comics, I don't really have the format of paneling. Exactly. Yeah.
but this is like just even if you're doing it just to lay out your ideas, it informs the artist of what you want. So I totally encourage every writer, like, at least get to the point where you can communicate with images what you want, because that will inform the artist and the process will be way faster. It doesn't have like a definitive design, but just okay, this is what I'm seeing. Like, the artist head will explode right away. Like, oh, so we can do this, we can do that. Like you giving him a starting point. So yeah, I totally encourage that practice, man.
Yeah, I may not be the best artist I know, but I can usually draw my ideas well enough to convey it better, convey the better artist, like Felipe, for example. In fact, I've actually offered a few artists to take like a crack at designing one of my characters a few times, just to see if they can come up with something better than I initially worked with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so is this the first book that Riserman's ever been in, or is this? Could you tell us about sort of where we've got the character drawn now? Could you talk about writing the script and getting him to the page? What was that like for you?
Okay, first beforehand, this is the first Riserman comic book, but not necessarily the first time Riserman has shown up in a book.
Oh wow.
Yeah, during the past couple years, Riserman, either as himself or his civilian identity, Shiny Cruz, has made a few cameos in the backgrounds of a few different comics. Usually either just walking around or surveying the area, kind of like he's working a case in these different comic book stories people are doing.
Nice.
It is fun.
Yep. Yeah, no matter where he goes, he's always on. Yeah, no matter where he goes, he's always on the lookout for trouble.
Nice.
So was that a kind of like a purposeful decision in terms of like getting your character's name out there and getting his image just sort of more familiar with people before putting out a book, or did it just sort of happen like that? Or
yes and no. On one hand, yes, I do enjoy. On one hand, yes, it is a good way to either showcase Ace Riserman and other people, as well as create a bit of hilarious lore, like who is Riserman? What's he doing in these areas, particularly? Is he connected to anything going on in the background here? And on the other hand, I just really love crossovers. Man. And those are definitely up there in my goals with Riserman. I kind of love the idea of Riserman either being in like these random locations, either dealing with some sort of threat in that area, or just meeting and interacting with other indie characters. That kind of thing makes my day. Hey, matter of fact, one of my goals in the future is to recreate a lot of these crossover game intros with Riserman and whichever characters are available for it to happen.
dude, that would be super sweet. Just to have like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of like versus image with the different rosters. That'd be cool.
Yeah, heck, I'd settle for just an intro from something like that.
So what comics or characters? I know you've done a couple little crossovers. I also know you're good friends with our buddy Ichthus, who I think you guys have. Yeah, you guys have like the same. You're both big fans of an artist that actually does. I forget the guy's name, but he actually does art for Capcom, doesn't he? He did that really solid couple fan arts for you and Ichthus, if I'm remembering correctly. You know what I'm talking about?
I like to think I do, but I'm trying to think to myself, wait, I know somebody who did art for Capcom, and I'm just now realizing it.
Nice. Hey, good stuff. How you doing?
Yes, I'm gonna look it up real quick. It's a I think, if I'm not even mistaken, I think you may have bought this piece for Ichthus as a commission. I may be wrong. I may have read that wrong.
Oh, you mean the one where Riserman was fighting one of the juvenile pro wrestling radioactive gators?
I think so. I'm pretty sure because that's definitely his characters. I'm trying to find it.
Let's see,
I
Juvenile Radioactive JRPG. Juvenile Radioactive Pro Wrestling Games. There we go. Yeah, it was like
think.
his name.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, because I remember. Oh, hey, speaking of Gators. But yeah, I think that was one of the things I actually commissioned from Felipe since we were actually getting like some actual progress going with getting Riser Man out there. I kind of pitched the idea of him doing crossover picks with Riser Man and different indie characters.
Very nice.
Yeah, so far we only got the one with Ictus and him doing like a commission of Mrs. H's Captain Orange characters.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get more of the accomplished in the future. Maybe something with spells and superheroes.
I've been sort of bugging Pedro for a little while to maybe do something like we mentioned Mega Man earlier, but yeah, I'd like to try to dip my toe into webtoons at some point, and I think a Mega Man kind of leaning into that character would be a lot of fun. And because I grew up like being my uncle's, it's nothing weird here, being my uncle's video game assistant, where I was basically just too young to be sitting there playing the games, but it's like you could sit here and watch, Mark, and don't spill Mountain Dew on my keyboard, which I would do 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
but
my cousin play games too. Ew, I can understand that.
Yeah, and
Actually, now I think about it, Tropical Magic would be a fun crossover too. Since those guys
yeah, dude, I'm open to lots of things that doesn't involve sex, anything but sex. But I'm open.
Okay.
You talk to Pedro off stream. You might get sweet talking.
Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd love to crossover with you guys' works as well.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Riser Man, among other things, is pretty versatile as far as storytelling. Usually, if something can't be done with Riser Man, I can usually have it done with Shiny Cruz to a similar effect.
So let me scroll down a little bit here because I want to kind of get into a little deeper of what the Riser Man story is, who these characters are, just sort of what it is that you've created here, buddy. So what are we looking at here with these different characters? Who's their mad scientist?
Oh, the mad scientist who I sadly didn't even include in this story, or ironically enough, that is Dr. Nelson Pine. I guess you could. Let's see how to describe their relationship. He's basically the one that managed to save a Riser Man from the clutches of the criminal organization that he fought. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. See, they already reconstructed him into Riser Man with the intention of using him as a sort of living weapon, so to speak.
Okay, so hold on. You said reconstructed. Is Riser Man kind of like a what the hell is that character? Now I'm gonna look like a real idiot.
RoboCop? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, buddy. Is he like a RoboCop?
You see? Huh?
That's a pretty apt comparison. Riser Man is what I described as a mutanoid. He was genetically and cybernetically augmented.
Okay.
The whole cost, the exoskeleton, and even the whole design of the exoskeleton was actually pretty deliberate. You see, Riser Man not only has a metallic outer shell, but his DNA was kind of augmented with that of a tiger beetle.
I was hoping you were going to say he's also got a soft emotional core on the inside, but that's
yeah.
Well,
Tiger beetle is cool too. Yeah,
actually, you know what? That's actually a good segue into his character. You see, Dr. Pine managed to get Riser Man out of there before the organization organization was able to actually brainwash him. So despite being, essentially a cyborg human man, and he still retains his memories and personality he had before getting reconstructed. So he's not like a mindless killing machine.
So was he supposed to be like mind wiped?
Essentially, he was. Well, mind wiped in the sense that mind wiped in the sense that he's basically a mindless drone acting purely on the orders of his handlers in the organization.
I see. Okay, cool.
In a way, they were basically trying to turn him into a Terminator.
So basically, this organization that reconstructed him, it's not all good either. That's what I'm picking up. Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh yeah, the fact that Razorman even has a humanoid appearance is less an act of mercy by the organization and more like a convenient means of infiltration had the reconstruction been completed.
I see. Wow.
Yeah, because the mutanoid in Razorman, in addition to himself, can move between their altered appearances and their original appearances, kind of like in the Kamen Rider series.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So Kamen Rider and the monsters gotta go back and forth to move around and stuff.
Is the scientist a bad guy then? Because when I was trying to decide which characters to pull for the thumbnail, I was trying to. I almost decided on the scientist, but honestly, he looked a little too devious, sort of hunched over there, up to no good.
No, Dr. Pine is all good. In fact, the only reason he was, reason he was there at Dreadon was pretty much in a similar way Riserman and was there abducted against his will with the idea of using it in scientific and medical knowledge, because Dr. Pine works on both machine, is an expert in robotics and surgery, so his knowledge would be ideal for an organization that's taking people and turning them into living weapons.
Dude, I'm loving what you're doing with this IP, man. The designs, like, this can be easily turned into a video game, into an animated show. Good job, man. Really good job.
Yeah, I actually did. Oh yeah, I came up with all of the designs for the characters. Felipe, pretty much made them look fantastic. Frankly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should also note that because it took so long to finally get anything done on with Razorman, because I was so anal in handling the origin story. This is kind of more of a general one-shot adventure story.
Yeah.
This book is
this one.
Okay. So here's the team then. Let's talk a little bit about the actual art team. You on the story, obviously. Amy Fusco. Tell me about Amy.
Mrs. H.
Oh, Mrs. H. Very good. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, you see, this was actually a collab. See, this story is actually part of a collaboration I did with her on her own comic series, The Adventures of Captain Orange. Let's see, an all ages space adventure series that's on Global Comics. It's actually a pretty great read. I totally recommend.
I would have never guessed that H. The H threw me off there, Mrs. H. There's no H there. All right.
Well, I tend not to pry into people's screen there. Yeah.
My pleasure. No problem. Okay. So Paul Tucker. I've actually never talked to Paul, but I am familiar with him. He's over with Nicholas Mueller's crew, right? The Demon Hunter Raver. Demon Hunter Raver. That's an interesting book. No. But
as well as a creator in his own right. Yeah, he's doing the Bump Back Act series, and even did the Sunchild story they were working on together.
Okay, so how did you meet up with everybody?
Well, I kind of been Well, I kind of been interacting with them.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, I've kind of been interacting with both of them off and on for like the past year or so, give or take. Hey, and it was actually Mrs. H that approached me to doing a Riser story for the recent chapter of Captain Orange.
Nice.
Yeah, sort of a comic within a comic, if you will.
Okay, so is that what we're looking at, by the way? Is that what this is?
Oh yeah, this is the Riser Man portion of that chapter.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, Mrs. H did the art of that as well as the art on Captain Orange.
Very nice.
So even though it is in fact a Riser Man story, but given the fact that since she's also the artist on Captain Orange, it feels like it's also part of that story in a sense. I think in the actual story, or Captain Orange said that these Riser Man comics were from when he was a kid. So I guess in a sense, Riser Man's technically a golden age superhero in the Captain Orange universe.
All right, that's fun. So yeah, your character is a comic book character inside a universe. That's quite a spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things like the little snippet you saw there, I just want to tease you because, I mean, the character design of Riser Man calls out to this kind of animation. So let me just play it again.
Yeah, that kind of looks familiar. I think I've been seeing advertisement from this place recently.
Nice, buddy.
Yeah, so that's something that it can be done. That's all I'm saying. It can be done.
It can be done.
Yes.
All right, and very nice artwork.
No problem. It was a pleasure, Mrs. H. You were doing what?
Great angles, lots of fluidity coming right at you here with this fist.
Yeah. The storytelling is very on point.
Yeah, I'm sorry to throw off me to do the script because I was kind of going through a bit of both financial and technical circumstances around that time. So a script that should have only taken at least a month or so to make darn near branched out and over two.
Yeah, that's life for you.
I can't even chalk that up to my inexperience. Yeah, I can't even chalk that up to my inexperienced writing scripts either, because this is like my first formal attempt at script writing. Because back in the day, I thought I could use the image.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is my first. Yeah, this is actually my first script or a storyline. You see, when I first started getting into making comics myself, I kind of thought I could use the whole image method where as long as I had skills, I could just hand draw the comics at my own leisure, like some of the other artists / writers that have been on YouTube.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
that would be fantastic.
Overestimated my skills and grossly underestimated the difficulty of pulling that sort of thing off.
Yeah, well, I mean that's reality.
I'm glad we eventually got
one. Crushes down. Yeah, and the things that we have to stop looking at art as a finished thing. Because art is always a moment in time. Like you always see mistakes. You're always gonna be seeing things like I should have like done this. I could have done this better. But yeah, it's a moment in time. It's what you did then. Just learn from the mistake are flagrant in your eyes. Because mostly people will see your book as, hey, I'm gonna enjoy a book. I mean, some do look for mistakes, but the mistakes you see, most people are not watching them, but just make notes and don't make them again. And that's the thing, like, because if not, you'll never come up with a book ever. It's always like, no, I want it to be perfect. And perfectionism is the death of art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this:
that's part of the
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Oh no, I was just going to say that Pedro was exactly right. I was reason why I didn't start with the origin story of Riser Man and just went directly to a one shot story. Because
sorry about that.
Same reason.
Jesus, somebody let the chickens
no
in.
worries.
No, it's like an all-out chicken roll. I'm gonna
No
mute.
worries.
I'm
My
gonna
neighbors
mute.
chickens too.
So I actually
don't
have a
worry, my
question.
neighbors too. I can't really judge.
I got a question for you, Neo.
But yeah, so what were you gonna ask?
Yeah, what's the future for Riser Man? What are you working on right now? And how long ago did this just come out? And what's the future looking like for you? What are your plans?
Okay. Okay. So technically this came out only about a month ago, give or take.
Very nice.
And even then, it took some time afterwards to get like the fully edited version to get. I believe the one I showed, the one you got on screen, the
Yep.
So the actual the comic came out, and we got like the fully fixed up version to use in future to use as part of like future campaigns and stuff. Because I do plan to eventually get into crowdfunding, and I do in fact have at least three stories I'd like to have put together by then. But oh yeah, in fact,
okay.
Yeah, in fact, I was actually trying to. In fact, I was actually hoping to get this comic out there so I can at least have like people see it and let me know what kind of works and doesn't for this here because this is actually my first time doing a script, so I kind of wanted to know my strengths and weaknesses here for the main line Riser Man works.
Okay, so is this like the PDF that you sent me? Is this something that you're sharing, or is there a website, or do you have? I know you have a couple links we'll share here at the end.
No, this one. Oh no, this is something I shared with you guys specifically. You can actually still see the main thing, the main story on Global Comics under Captain Orange and whatnot.
Okay, I see. Very nice.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
5.
All right, cool.
Yeah, chapter 5.
Okay, I'll have to. I will put that Global Comics link at the end of the video for sure. And yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, do you like Global Comics over there? Do you like Global Comics as a platform? Do you read any other books over there, or I haven't really checked it out?
I think I might have once upon a time because it's been a while. Since I've been in there. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for Mrs. H, I'm probably not. I don't think I probably would have been on there recently.
All right. Yeah, I might check that out. Might be something.
I'm sure there's plenty of decent ones over there. I just really haven't gone through like a deep dive over there.
Okay, cool. So, alrighty. Well, is there anything else? We're just a little over an hour here. Is there anything else you want to add, Neo? Is there anything we missed, buddy? Anywhere we can find you? Any all that stuff? I ask a million questions. I'll keep doing it.
Yeah,
no worries.
Just interrupt me.
Yeah, what are you having for lunch?
When are you taking your next shower? Can I clip your toenails?
Can I keep them? Yeah.
Literally did them both 2 hours ago.
Okay. Good to know. I'll start making a tally of that now. So.
Well, since I've kind of dodged half that question earlier, I should probably make note of Riser Man's other ability besides having a metal exoskeleton for a costume.
Yeah.
But you might have noticed throughout the story, Riser Man kind of showcased having psychic powers.
Okay. So yeah, just give us a rundown real quick. What are Riser Man's abilities? What are his powers in a quick list?
Okay. He has the DNA of a tiger beetle, so he has an exoskeleton in addition to having enhanced speed and agility. He's able to move around pretty fast on his own in addition to the psychic powers allowing him to effectively launch and or float himself to different spots. He also can't, and despite having psychic powers, he can't really read minds in a traditional ends, but he can divine information from objects and people, which is kind of how I did that one trick with his friend's phone. Oh, that you might have noticed.
Okay. Does he have any specific weaknesses? Does he have a kryptonite? How do you hurt Riser Man? You just got to put a whooping on him, or how's that gonna go?
Well, Riser Man is very durable, but he's not vulnerable. He does in fact feel all the hits he takes in the air. It's like it's kind of like how you can like how Iron Man characters like Iron Man, Wolverine are still durable, but it ain't like they just enjoy getting hit,
Right. Okay.
But yeah, he does have two particular weaknesses. Well, you notice how I said that he's got a metal exoskeleton? Well, that same exoskeleton is still technically part of his body, so he is susceptible to electrical attacks, like the one the Torpedotron actively uses in that story.
What about heat as well? Could you like cause him to heat up, and would he feel sort of would it? I mean, more so obviously than a regular human, but I mean, like, does the metal play anywhere on that, or that might be interesting?
Not necessarily. He can handle temperature well enough. It's just that the electrical attacks is more susceptible to, because that exoskeleton is technically part of his body. So Riser Man is essentially a walking lightning rod in that sense. Yeah.
Okay, that'll do.
Matter of fact, I actually have. Yeah, this is going a bit farther ahead, but Riser Man does deal with another villain whose main weapon is electricity.
We got Sugar Chris asking the hard.
His weaknesses fairly often.
Chris here with the maybe the best question of the whole show here: can magnets get the better of him? Could we get a really large magnet and really give Riser Man a run for his money? What do you think?
Well, yeah, a magnet would. Yeah, that's kind of robot there, but I did hear a magnet part. Yeah, a magnet would cause him trouble since, although I haven't necessarily identified the metal his suit is made of, it is still metal, and therefore a magnet would stick to him. Good question.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So is that we actually didn't really hit the other two characters here. Who is that? Is that our? I have to assume our April O'Neil over here. Is that Vanessa?
Yes, indeed. Good. Very apt comparison to who. While she and Riser Man don't necessarily interact specifically in here, she is in fact a friend of his, and I plan to explore that story later on in another book as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's it. A matter of fact, she kind of happens upon. Matter of fact, she actually had a main character as during that one, since she runs into Riser Man, her new news station wants her to find information on and it leads to an encounter with a giant monster in the sewer.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That'll do. And who's our I want to call him goofy looking, but he might be a really nice guy. Who is the dude over here on the far right?
You would be right on both accounts. That is Barry Kudo. He is Riser Man's bro. His best buddy. He's like his Rick Jones. He's like his Rick Jones, his Jimmy Olsen, his Launch Pad McQuarrie.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I can see the Rich Jones, but I can see a little bit of Foggy Nelson. Like Daredevil's best friend kind of thing. Yeah, going on.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows. Shiny Cruz is in fact Riser Man. And Barry. You gotta have the ride or die homie with you.
Dude, gotta have him. Very nice.
Yeah, you might have. Yeah, you actually noticed him helping out Riser Man partway into the story as well. Well,
into this book or into a future script?
Both. Oh, he was the one that helped Razorman get out of there when he was surrounded by the multiple torpedo trons that showed up.
All right. Well, damn. Okay. Well, dude, Razorman sounds like a lot of. Sorry, I was gonna say Razorman sounds.
I was gonna say in response to Mrs. H's question earlier. Yeah, Razorman does have a weakness for pretty like it's kind of like Brock from Pokemon, and that's
cool.
All right, so yeah, Mrs. H with Vanessa's other weakness, right? So, how dare you, Ginge? That man on the right is a Chad. You know, I'm sure he's actually a Chad. He's got the big, broad shoulders. You know, big barrel chest. Probably looks like you got the jumpsuit on. Is he a mechanic?
Got that launch pad energy, don't he?
All right. Okay.
Hey, no problem, DW.
Yep. My girlfriend's I gotta help bring in these mound of puppies, and we are running over just an hour, so we do got to go ahead and end the show. But dude,
over here with his girlfriend and dog, Mr. Big Shot.
It's gonna sound like I've got like 6 miniature horses running around my house. Just they're gonna be knocking over everything. But yeah, it was great talking with you though, Neo. Really do appreciate you coming on the show, man. And
awesome looking book, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy. All right, I hope to start making more awesome books later this year.
Awesome.
Yep. Is there? So I know you've got. Could you tell us just quickly about your Neo, where we can find you? I know you've got that Ko-fi thing. Is that something you're using actively?
That is. I won't lie. I literally put that up about a month ago. I have not actually really done anything with that account yet.
Okay. Well, maybe this PDF can be something that you can put over there. You might have to talk with Mrs. H about that, but maybe that can be something. But yeah, let's say thank you to the chat real quick, everybody. We got Sugar Chris. Thank you for coming by, buddy. A fellow morning host. Gotta respect that. Mrs. H, Amy, thank you for coming by, a regular as well. What else we got? Yeah, we got Shadowhawk. He's the man. Eric the Guapo. Good guy. Glad he doesn't troll me.
I love that.
Good stuff, Comic Skater. Thank you, buddy.
Always happy to be another getter.
All right. Pops Van Zandt. Pops is actually our guest next week, so keep your eyes out for that. Yep.
See you later then, Pops.
Hail to
all right,
Pops.
Everybody. So, Neo, I'm going to let you know that because I think I've had to explain to our last couple of guests that, and I should usually do this before the show starts now, but it's become a game where I try to kick the guest out as they're speaking, and I don't want you to be offended by it, but I'm just going to go ahead and let you know now. So is there anything you'd like to say before you leave?
Fall for it.
Neo?
Well, let's see. With a bit of smarts and a lot of.
All right.
God damn it, James.
Gotcha. No,
it's so uncouth.
Okay, everybody. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So thank everybody for joining us. It had a really fun show this week. Spells and Superheroes backers, keep your eyes out for this coming week here. Everybody should be getting everything. We got Tropical Magics headed into the second week of funding, or the second month of funding, rather. Yes. And we're just at 77%. So on the home stretch, and we'd really appreciate if you guys could help us get that thing out there and get it funded. So thank you for watching the Ginge and Pedro show, and we will catch y'all next week. Boom.
Peace.